right, so today's video, we're watching a Diamond 5 DPS on PC playing Ashe, Genji, Sojourn, Freya. They say, hello, this is a very long game. This game honestly kind of felt like I was playing Walking from Spawn Simulator. Love you too, buddy. But at the same time, seemed like a decently good performance. Oh, okay, what's up? Is it not spectating time? It's not spectating time, chat. Kind of felt like I was playing Walking from Spawn Simulator, but at the same time, seemed like a decently good performance from me. I'm really not sure if I was way too aggro or if my team was just falling back too much. There were times I thought me being aggro was fine, only to die and see that my whole team is just sitting on payload. It might honestly be mostly cope or me being upset, but even watching it myself, I just didn't think my aggression was that bad. Obviously, some of it was bad. I did int my brains out a few plays. What's up, buddy? Out a few plays, but mostly I feel like my team was more to blame, or that it was more unfortunate that they backed off, not necessarily to blame someone. I'm also pretty new still and think I'm bad, so I wanted to hopefully get some real advice outside my ego. Okay. Whoop. You like my shirt? That's a nice shirt, isn't it? He has my shirt. It's attached to his nail, so I'm trying to... There you go. Thank you, buddy. Well, I didn't want him to hurt his nail. Here we go. Let's do this. Let's see if you're feeding too much. Okay, here we don't go. Buddy, what's up? I think he, like, hears something out there, so he, like, wants me. Okay, how about this? Chat, give me one more second. I'm gonna go check upstairs for him. I'll be right back. I gotta go make sure there's no monsters upstairs, okay?
One eternity later.
I'm back. Sorry, there was no monsters upstairs, chat. We're good. Okay, peeking up. And good dynamite. Pretty clean sequence. Yeah, we're currently watching a Diamond game. Aim looking good. Positioning's okay. Nobody's in there. So far, so good. Ryan's a little bit too aggressive on your team, so that's what's gonna happen. Not bad. Make sure to reload fully at a certain point. Positioning's good. I'm saying position is good, chat, but maybe I can explain it, like why it's good. So the attacking team here is looking this way. The Ashe is up here. The Ashe is created an off angle, so now the Ashe either has free reign on people right here, or the players here will have free reign on players that have to look up here. So it's good. This spot is a kind of an all-in spot sometimes. I don't know if anybody's ever played here. It's good until it isn't. And what I mean by that is it's great, but once they get map control, you're just like, well, there we go. But the spot is so strong that it is worth it to take that angle, so that way you create more stuff. Yeah. So it's like one of those things where it's great until it isn't, but you were technically in the spot that would create those angles. It just so happened they killed your Rhine, and then they ended up getting the kills on you. So anyway, pretty quick first point. Not surprised. First point in this map either gets full held or you just get right through it. So yep. All right. On the high ground, everything's clean thus far. Wu Yang's doing a lot of spam damage. You gotta be careful of that. Be careful of standing still on dynamites. I know it was fine, but I've done that and I just fall over. Get the free kill with the coach gun there, or the shot. Either one works. Nice job. Coach gun does a little bit of damage, though. They're really low. Okay, you hear him over there to your right. Good call. Good dynamite. Clean. You're not gonna get the kill on the Sojourn. Oh, you are? I was looking at their HP. I thought it was gonna be done. Or they get healed? Nope, didn't happen. Yeah, these are... If you're asking if, like, this is fine, this is a good way to look at it, because I think you have good, solid position, but this goes back to the advice I give of play at the pace of your team or how they're, like, reacting. Right now, your team gets kind of backed up a little bit. So this might have to be one of those games where you have to reposition into a more safe spot, but, like, a similar idea of the angle. Because your team is kind of getting pushed back a lot, so when that happens, you're gonna, if they die, you're gonna get caught out, right? The position's good until it isn't, type of thing. And the way your team has played thus far, this is where I always give that advice of, like, making adjustments. Like, this is kind of like where you need to start making that adjustment. You can maybe give it one more go. Like, sometimes it's just unlucky for the first two team fights, but if it happens for a third time, I'd recommend just repositioning more with your team, which you're kind of doing right now, but that's kind of how third point plays. You don't have an off angle yet, so we'll see how it plays out, but I wouldn't bob this just yet. I know it's probably enticing, but yeah. I don't know. That's a tough one to call a bob on, because even if you bob, you're going to kill the Genji because of the damage from bob, but I don't think it will. I don't know. It's hard to call. I think you're fine. Bob? Yep. Great bob. So the reason why that's a good bob, chat, you see how the Zarya was out of position? Basically, the idea is that you're going to pressure the pressure the Ashe, or I just named 5 heroes that I'm not talking about. Pressure the Zarya is going to force Zarya into a bad position. Yep, and as you can see, while the team didn't take advantage of that position on the Zarya, it was, in my opinion, a good play. I see you took the Dynamite perk, which honestly, like, seems to be pretty good. Again, I don't play a lot of Ashe, so I think maybe some, like, maybe players who play only Ashe might have a little bit more of, like, a feedback on that one, but it seems good for just a case of not having to worry about using it if you don't want to hit the shot on the Dynamite. So it's a perk that I would like for me, but so there you go. Get up on high ground. I know you just waiting on your coach gun probably. Yep, there it is. Yeah, that Dynamite, that one's pretty cool. Hi, buddy. All right. Well, the initial part, that was their aim on the Dynamite, but like now there's like I think it's like a 1 second delay or something, or when you hit the button, so you just have to kind of like almost use it as like a projectile, in a way. They kind of predict where they're gonna go with it and then hit the button. See? So like, or maybe it's a half a second. Or is it half a second? Yeah, half a second. So it's pretty good for that. Good angles, good shots. This is a good play. But now I want to point something out, chat. Since I've talked about some of the position stuff, what is the one thing that's changed? You've kind of been forced into this position, and not in like a bad way. It's like basically the way third point works is that you're more inclined to be with your team, but on angles, and now it's working. So this goes back to all the way to first point. If you had to redo first point based off of what we've seen, I wouldn't even play here next time, because your team, the way they play, that angle isn't going to be as, like, your team plays better when you're playing more of like your Ryan's up in front and everybody else is spread around like this, rather than like, you know, you're an aggressive off angle. I can already see that's what happens with your team. Again, goes back to what I've said. Adjust your position accordingly to how your teammates play. If everybody's playing one way, it's better to have everybody on the same page playing the same style than to have one player playing aggressive and 4 players playing passive, right? So, yep. But that's why I wanted to also show why that was a good spot to begin with, but why it could also not work based off of how your team plays. It's a lot of those mid-game adjustments, so. I think third point has forced you into that mid-game adjustment. So yeah, there you go. You can also just coach gun this, help your teammate if you need to. Don't be afraid to coach gun that too if you want to help peel for your team. Your Ryan went up there and got killed. Now they've lost that position in. The best thing you can do is try to coach gun out. But there's one more path I want to show people that not a lot of people take. I know why you bobbed that. I'm fine with it. Good job. Good bob. Good else by your team to survive that. Okay. While I have a time in very quickly, this way. A lot of people don't utilize this, and the one reason why this spot, especially when you're on the defense, is really strong is there's a mega here. See? So don't be afraid if you're stuck up here to disengage this way, because if they chase you, what they're going to do is actually create an off angle again. So you're going to end up here, which you go, oh, wow, this isn't as good. It's not the best spot, but it's not the worst. And now your teammates over here now have an angle. So again, you're creating a good off angle through good positioning, and you also get a health pack here for survivability. So just wanted to showcase a different way to path out of there. It all worked out either way, but it's always good to know that stuff. Good big slam. Good follow-up by your team. I know you saw the BAP. All right. Yep, you're wide peeking. You stay there a little bit too long. Once they start to get a little bit of map control, I want you to readjust your positioning, because now you're forced into some cooldowns. Like, it's these little things. It's going to add up over time. So you're playing here. First 2 pop shots, great. Third one, okay. By the 4th one, you need to be all the way over here. And the reason being is because if you don't, you've already lost the contain here. Your teammates are going to be backed up, and you're going to be stuck in that aggressive position again. But the problem is, right, that you're running into is that you're forcing out cooldowns from your own teammates. Not only do they get cooldowns on their team, you just force out a Kitsune, or not a Kitsune, a Suzu. Imagine that what this Suzu could do here if this Sojourn ultimate on their team does well. The point I'm making is you gotta be a little bit quicker on your rotation out, right? Otherwise, now you don't have some of the cooldowns you need, and it kind of has this domino effect, right? Like, look at this. Like, now your team is starting to be on their back foot. You're missing some major cooldowns. You're forced to use, ultimates you don't want to use, and then that's how you lose the ult economy. And then eventually, even if you win this team fight, you may not have that, or you might just lose the team fight. Now, that's not all on you specifically, but I'm just showing you where you could have adjusted and played that better. And it actually might still be going here, so let's see. All right. Careful here. I was just going to say, don't be afraid. Okay. I don't know. This could be a philosophy on this with Ashe. Do not be afraid to, like, dynamite a hog there. And you go, why would you dynamite the hog? Like, tell me why that's a good play. I got you. DPS passive. Believe it or not, every single time the damage ticks on the dynamite, it reapplies the DPS passive. So, against a Roadhog who relies heavily on those self-heals, you could apply basically, what, a 15% healing reduction to Hog? Because with tanks, it's half of what it is for, like, everybody else. So, like, the point I'm making is, you throw that dynamite on the Hog, now you have an opportunity for your teammates to put a little bit more pressure on that Hog or force out a cooldown. So, hi, buddy. Everything good? So, anyway, just wanted to show you that, okay? Hi, bud. Honestly, good hook by the Hog. Your Rhine tried there. That was just a good play, I think. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, you're just trying to go back to point, so end up losing the team fight over time, but not bad. But, you know, you take a half like that, I'd say. I'd be okay with that. Now you're on Genji, so that was a little bit of a difference of playstyle. Let's see how it goes. Gotta love Freya. Oop. I mean, you're doing what you need to do here. Just doing some early damage. You're kind of a little bit too up. Yep. Where's your team at? Yeah, that's not on you. I think your Rhine lagged out. We'll ignore that whole sequence because you literally have a Rhine standing still AFK. All right? We can ignore that sequence for now. Yep. Okay. Yep. You're stuck in the middle. You've put yourself in a spot where you're... Okay, there you go. Look for isolated 1v1s, which I think you see with Soldier, which is the correct play. If you see Soldier, yeah, you can go for that. Yep. If your question was, should you dash to that area, the answer is yes. Timing might have been like a second off, but honestly, I probably would have done it even later than that, because I just... I'm not going to say Genji's my strongest hero. All right. Playing to live. Doing what you got to do. What rank is this? Diamond 5. Looking for some kills. Not bad. Taking up high ground here. Looking for some spots. You're fine for now. Gotta kind of wait on your Rhine. This is one of those maps where I think it's okay to, like, slowly take the map control and get around them, which this is good. I love this play by you, by the way. This is the correct decision. This, we'll see, is fine. All right, good job. Yep. I just wanted to make sure you backed out. I just watched a recent VOD where there was no backing out. Once someone went in, they were in. So I'm glad that you recognized the approach of taking an angle, flank behind, and then got out. The survivability is so key there. You did what you needed to do. You gave them a distraction. Now, Jen, if you're wondering what's happening here, the reason why you don't need the Genji on the point right now. So the Genji actually setting up here isn't a bad idea. What you're doing is you're looking for an isolated, like, kill, and then you go into a Blade if you need to, right? 97% on Blade. So, like, let's say that, like, this Soldier 76 walks up these stairs. Well, now Genji's ready. You don't need the Genji just sitting on point left clicking here, because even if they do end up all funneling down here, the Genji now can come from the high ground. So this is just an example of a solid spot to go to. See? Now the Soldier really can't do anything, and then, yep, pretty much went how we thought it was going to go, outside of Ana just rolled you with that sleep. But still, right idea. And you still win the team fight. So, sometimes they just hit sometimes the Ana just hits a good sleep. Straight up. Like, I honestly didn't even think the Ana would do that. That was a very rough sleep or a tough sleep to hit, so, yeah. Here we go. go. All right. Top left, correct play. You're taking the high ground. You're approaching it the correct way. I would actually control the left side here. Let me show you something very quickly. I think you should control this side because if you control this side, one, you can go get a free pylon kill. Trust me, this is like a huge pick here. I know it's not even a kill, but the pylon can be really effective. And your Cassidy and your Kiriko are over here. So see, all three of you are in the same spot. So if you're the enemy team and you're walking out here, you only have to worry about this and this Ryan. This Ryan's just holding shield. So putting yourself here, this establishes you in an aggressive but solid spot. It's still within your team's range, and your Reinhardt still has kind of control here. See what I'm saying? So just a little bit of a note there. I think your actually initial spot was fine. See? This is okay, too. This is an okay idea also. The problem is, I think you just saw it. The health pack's on there. Yep. So I think what happened there, and I can only guess, is the Genji went to go for the backline, went to get the kill on the soldier, and the plan was to get the health pack after. Well, guess what? The health pack was already used. I could see it right away. You saw it, and you're like, uh-oh. So, and honestly, sometimes, like, you have to make a play like that, and then your teammates just have to take that space, and they did. So, you're not going to win every 1v1. So, yeah. Big slam. I mean... Oh, yeah. That's a weird one, because, like, technically, if you looked at the Ana's HP, they were, like, really low. So if you were to kill the Ana, you could get like a bunch of dash resets and maybe get like 2 kills, but I don't think it would have mattered either way. So surviving this might not be a bad idea, but yeah, that was a roughie because like there were so many kills to have, but you like, who do you kill there, right? How do you not overcommit to that, so. All right, keep doing your thing. Oh, well. Yeah, just a good ult. Use your deflect next time. Oh yeah, deflect was on cooldown. Good call, good call. Sorry, my bad. I zoned a little bit on the cooldown there, so you're right. So you didn't have your deflect up. Chad is right. You're good. This Freya just keeps hitting shot after shot. I gotta say, I don't know if anybody else gets this when you play against a Freya. If a Freya can even also... What you're doing now is you're starting to kind of like speed up the process of where you're going, and I think it's actually getting you killed more. Just reset with your team. I've seen you kind of run back a few times now to try to like establish positioning, and like I get it, but at the same time, you need more people there to be helpful with you. You're just like a step ahead. Just take a second, wait on your team, go in. Okay. Yeah, Blade, I'm ready. Kill? Oh, that's up. They lined up perfectly for you. Nice play. Your teammates touched the point. Good sequence. Nice Blade. Clean. Clean. Good job. Good play. I love that the support's lined up that way, too. You basically just won the team fight. Nice play. These kills. All right, you don't have to go for that kill yet. Diana's already out of position. Yeah, good job. That was a good like the Genji recognizing not to go for the Ana there was actually huge because the Ana's already out of position. You're gonna get the kill on the Ana, so like not feeding for that was good. Good job of taking this location around. Remember, there's a health pack behind you. Yeah, you overcommitted. Remember, I want you to play the health pack a little bit better here because you have a health pack here. So like you don't want to overcommit outside of the door. What you want to do is you want to bait the Torb in here, and then you have a health pack, and then you have an escape route. Going here when they're stacked here is really aggressive. It's funny because I just showed an example of where this could be a good spot, but they have to be up here or like over here. You got to play that health pack better because you're just basically giving them a free kill. So again, kind of the right idea of where to go to, but the wrong play when you got there. Yeah. You said you had to check they were at 7 HP when the deflect came back. Yeah, that's fine. Like I wouldn't. I looked after, so like I saw deflect up after. That's easy. That's a clean. Totally understand. You can't deflect that. That's really tough to do. On that whatever team fight that was a while ago. Yeah. You got the kill. I just want to point out you're just going very fast sometimes. That's what I'm saying. They're just being too aggressive with the engages. It's almost like you're trying to force the play a lot of the time. and not letting the play like come to you, and I think that's kind of the problem. So like you're just going a little bit too quick, yeah. And that's just a pacing thing. Like this goes back to where I've talked about how you have to adapt to how your team plays. On defense, your team wasn't playing super aggro. What you did on defense is you kind of settled and it got better, and then on attack, you started off strong, and then there was a little bit of like kind of like you were getting stuck as a team. So then you played too aggressive. There was a couple team fights where you just kind of constantly kept delaying the next team fight. It's just one of those things where, again, go with the pace of your team. It can be super helpful. Okay, now you're on Sojourn. Okay, I don't mind this pick here. Yep, I imagine you're just going for an early AoE here, like the Disruptor shot, which is totally fine. He's getting some early L charge. You don't, yeah, that's fine. Good, get out. If you get a damage, you get damage. If you don't, you don't. There you go. 5% L charge for free. You take that. Could add up. You never know. Get out. Yep. Play back. Remember how your team plays. Okay, so last time you played, you put yourself into the top right corner, and it just didn't go well. Your way your team played this. So don't be afraid to take a different off angle than the one you did last time. Okay. You notice how you ended up going to the other angle after a second? That's why I was like, okay. There you go. Good job. Good job rotating a little bit more to the left. Be careful of the Genji spam. Yep. Sombra went to the top right of you. You're going to get hacked in a second. Nice job rotating as they got in. Yeah, you're just going to lose the team fight, but hey, at least you rotated quicker this time. So, yeah, not bad. Everything's chill. Everything's good. Yeah, you're playing at the pace of your team. All right. Here to help the Genji. Nice disruptor shot. Get out. Remember, you saw, like, the rotation from their team go up there. So you need to be able to, like, recognize that they're going up there. So I think you stayed there for too long, and you could be like, yeah, my Cassidy was there. But yeah, like, that's at that point, that's on your Cassidy, not on you. Play a little bit safer there. Or play a different angle than being in Roadhog range there. Good high noon from your teammate. Let's see you get aggressive here as Sojourn. Right? A few ultimates. I think you have a numbers advantage still, like on the point because of the overtime spawns. Yep, nice shot. That actually did damage to the back line. Doesn't get EMP by their Sombra, but we'll see. I think your team is in a weird spot here. I think the Rhine is gonna, yep. That was just a good job by their team. Okay, Sombra left side. Okay. This is kind of a weird team fight. Yeah, I was going to say, you knew the Sombra was initially in that general area, so if you stay up there for too long, it's a hard to call because, like, I'm kind of giving you, like, oh, if you just try this, that might be better there, but also, like, this is kind of just one of those things where the other team is playing so well that you've never really settled, and it's been rough. So it's like, it's a rougher game because of that. Like, I think their team is just playing well. I mean, it's just, they're winning the clutch moments. Big slam. That brick hit you with that? Or am I losing it? Might have gotten booped randomly. Okay. I think you might get away with this. Remember, your Rhine was nanoed. You didn't have to jump to the point. All right. Your team wins that. That was just kind of a rough overtime spawn situation. That was Lucio? Okay, yeah. I couldn't tell if Lucio went for like a boop from like an angle, so it was good. All right, on to Freya now. All right. Trying all the snipers today. Ooh, nice kill. Good shot. Take top right. Yep. Early shots on the Ana. The Ana's kind of stuck there now. Has to back away. Good pressure. Ooh, that might be a kill. Nice. Clean. Very clean. Ooh, okay. Taking over the team fight. Love to see it. Shows you also how good Frey is when you can play the hero. Clean. Good start. Yeah. Good start. Okay, ult time. Yo, I'm ready. Your position's been fine. You've been slowing it down. I'm glad you slowed it down a bit. This has been one of your problems. Sometimes you get a little bit too quick with, like, the team fights. So I'm glad you, like, recognized, like, wait on your team there. It was a good job. Taking a bit of an aggressive angle, but it's overtime. You got to kill. This is fine for now. I actually would go, yep, good idea. Very good idea. This is a very patient play out of you. If you miss the shots, listen, some of the hardest shots in this game and any game to hit is when they're just standing still. I can't explain why, it just is. But good job, though. See, like, taking that angle and recognizing that their Ana was scoped up there, basically forced their Ana down, gave your teammates opportunity on the front line, and you just trust that your teammates are going to win that. So, good job. To your left is a Mei. Yep. Second, here we go. Playing the angle. All right. I would try back it up slightly now. No, never mind. Going with that. Use that damage. Yeah. That's fine. Initially, I was going to say back away during this, but that Juno ultimate, you can kind of stay alive. Ooh, nice shot. Good job, like, just recognizing they were there. A little bit too aggro here, but again, it's overtime, so I'm giving you a little bit. It wasn't really aggro. I think it was actually worth a trade on Sombra. This is just being aggressive in overtime. I'm fine with it. I don't want to be too, like, not having you make plays there. I think that was a good playmaking play. Okay, on to the last point. See if you can make it work. See if you can make it work. Let's go. What do you have alt-wise here? Because you have to kind of track what they have. Mei ult, EMP, yeah. So you want to make sure you're not stacking your team right now. Do not be stacked. Whoa. Don't stand still like that. There's a Sombra. Standing still like that is not the play. Okay. Yep, you're doing the right play because you're going to be out of EMP. Nice. I don't even think they did much of that. There's the Mei. Oop, there's the Moira ult. Yeah, you have the right idea. Good job. Pressure the Ana out. Try to get the kill on Mei. Mei just rolled you with that movement. Oh my. That Mei was just like, see ya! And then your team doesn't get on the point there. Which again, I mean, that's just, so yeah. So listen, like, I think that you have good mechanics. I think you have a good shot. I think that you have the movement. I think right now what you need to do is really just readjust to how your team plays. Because I felt like when you would settle with your team and you would play at the pace of your team, it went well. When you got impatient and went for aggressive plays, it did not go well. So I don't want you to stray away from being aggressive. I want you to just try to look at what your teammates doing and how they're pacing themselves and then make plays off of that. Because there was a lot of team fights where you go, yeah, but like, you know, I was just running back to my spot and I died there. But like that adds up. You know, you had about 4 times where you went back and just fed. That's over a minute of you having to run back, your team having to wait on you, right? So the point I'm making is there's a lot of things you can minimize on. So don't be afraid of being aggressive. But if your team is playing more of a chill pace, adjust around that and you'll get better results. If you look at this, every time you did, it was great. So I think something you need to start to do is really, really just readjust your play off of how your teammates are playing if the team is all committed to playing that. If you have 4 players playing aggressive and 1 player playing passive, you're going to want to all play aggressive for the most part. But you get what I'm saying. So outside of that, you know, a couple of like positional plays. Remember, if you play an off angle, always be ready for your escape. A couple times you relate to that. Just predict what they're going to do, and it'll be a lot easier to get out of there. Not predict what they're going to do, but like assume they're going to go for you and make that play, so be ready to disengage. But some good moments here. I think you can just clean up some of that stuff, and you'll be fine. You got this. You absolutely got this. You like the video? Hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't, leave a comment, all that helps. If you want to submit your own, my Discord's where you do that. And also, if you want to watch more of these, we have a lot of awesome videos. Click the link right here, or the little square, you'll see it. With that being said, hope you have an amazing day /night.